award ceremony of the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water, which is being held under the gracious patronage of the custodian of the two holy mosques. Welcome to the 9th award ceremony of the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water, which is being held under the gracious patronage of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia. The Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water, or PSIPW, was established in 2002 by His Royal Highness Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, who realized that innovative scientific solutions are needed if we are going to prevent a global water crisis. This vision has been carried on by his son, His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Sultan bin Abdulaziz, who says, "It is going to take effective management, international commitment, and political strength to avert the impending water crisis. Even this will not be enough without the committed efforts of scientists and researchers to provide the innovative solutions and technology that we need. They must be given every encouragement." PSIPW is a leading international scientific award dedicated to innovation in water research. It awards 5 unique prizes covering the entire water research landscape. First, there is a Creativity Prize for interdisciplinary research that addresses the problems of water scarcity. Then there are 4 specialized prizes in surface water, groundwater, alternative water resources, and water management and protection. It is now our pleasure to introduce the permanent representative of Saudi Arabia to the United Nations, His Excellency Ambassador Abdullah ibn Yahya al-Muallimi, to welcome us all to this event.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, dear colleagues and friends. On behalf of Djibouti, Egypt, Jordan, Morocco, Qatar, Singapore, Tajikistan, Thailand, Yemen, and on behalf of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I would like to welcome you to the 9th Annual Prince Sultan International Prize for Water Award Ceremony. I would like to extend a special warm welcome to His Excellency Volkan Bozkir, President of the General Assembly, and His Excellency the Secretary General Antonio Guterres. A special welcome also to His Excellency Abdurrahman Al-Fadli, the Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture of Saudi Arabia. We gather today in the immediate aftermath of the UN's high-level political forum on water, where we heard from governments, civil society, and the private sector on implementation of SDG 6 concerning water. Although the world community is not yet on track to meet the goals and targets under SDG 6, I hope the momentum from the high-level meeting and the groundbreaking work of the scientists being honored today will help close the scientific and sanitation gaps to better achieve this goal. As we learn about their groundbreaking work, I look forward to the positive impact this technology will have on the world. Before closing, I would also like to extend a warm note of thanks and appreciation to His Majesty, the custodian of the two holy mosques, for gracing this event with his royal patronage. Finally, I thank you and now would like to give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Volkan Bozkir, President of the General Assembly, and congratulations to him on a successful high-level political forum on water. Mr. Bozkir, you have the floor, sir.
Excellencies, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to share my heartfelt congratulations to the scientists and experts here on World Water Day. Your creativity, hard work, and dedication are critical and to address today's global water and sanitation challenges. I also commend the efforts of the government and people of Saudi Arabia for their support for innovative research to meet one of humanity's greatest challenges. Excellencies, water is essential for life on our planet and for our survival. As recognized by Sustainable Development Goal 6, which underpins much of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the availability of water has far-reaching consequences and it impacts economic development, food security, health, biodiversity, and ecosystems, energy production, poverty eradication, and gender equality, amongst others. This morning, before attending the ceremony, I presided over the General Assembly's high-level meeting on the implementation of the water-related goals and targets of the 2030 Agenda. This is one of the landmark meetings that will feed into the midterm comprehensive review of the implementation of the International Decade for Action, Water for Sustainable Development 2018 to 2028, scheduled for 2023. At the high-level meeting, many of the 80 heads of state or government, ministers, and high-level officials who attended recognized the challenges of ensuring the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation. Many of these challenges have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, but member states came with solutions. They renew their strong commitment to advance SDG 6 and implement the objectives of the Water Action Decade by increasing investment in water and sanitation, enhancing cooperation at global, regional, and national levels, and improving water governance. Others, including those from business, academia, IGOs, and civil society, presented concrete proposals focused on the SDG 6 Global Acceleration Framework's 5 accelerators: financing, data and information, capacity development, innovation, and governance. The diverse panels at the high-level event discussed the whole of society approach needed to achieve the SDGs. An integrated approach is required to foster the innovation in science, ICT, emerging technologies, ways of working, governance, and business models that can improve water resources and sanitation development and management. Excellencies, by bringing together our collective skills and knowledge through our collective ingenuity, it will be possible to develop new solutions that address the complex water challenges before us. That is why it is so important to share research and innovation. We must share and scale up best practices throughout our societies, enable innovative technologies and ecological approaches to accelerate progress on water and sanitation to the benefit of all those behind. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this award is an excellent example of the enabling environment we need to nurture innovation and invention in the field of water and sanitation. I commend the award winners today. Your work demonstrates that there are proven technologies, solutions, and approaches from around the world that if adopted and deployed at scale, could meaningfully narrow the SDG implementation gap. It's time to get serious about accelerating innovation on our way to meeting the SDGs. I encourage all innovators and change makers to continue to share their solutions and promote innovation to secure the future we want. As we enter this decade of action and delivery for sustainable development, I call on all member states to increase their political will, reaffirm and renew their commitments, provide political, financial, and technical support to accelerate and the implementation of SDGs, including all the water-related targets. I thank you very much for inviting me to this very important meeting, and I thank once again to the organizers and to the ambassador of Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Mr. Volkan Bozkis. I would like to thank the President of the General Assembly for his remarks. I would further like to congratulate him on a successful high-level meeting on the implementation of the water-related goals and targets of the 2030 Agenda on 18 March, and look forward to the momentum towards achieving SDG 6 on water under his leadership. And now it is our great honor to have His Excellency, Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, address the awards ceremony. Please welcome Mr. Guterres.
I extend warm greetings to the Prince Sultan Water Prize ceremony, which honors the efforts of scientists, investors, and research organizations in the field of sustainable water management. Solutions are desperately needed, as billions of people worldwide still live without safely managed drinking water and sanitation, especially in many rural areas and in the least developed countries. Water stress is rising in many parts of the world. Climate disruption, pollution, and growing demands for water are bringing scarcity, harming ecosystems, and exacerbating security challenges. This year's World Water Day theme, Valuing Water, highlights the many different ways water benefits our lives so we can value it properly and safeguard it effectively. The United Nations is fully committed to working with all partners to build a carbon-neutral, resilient, gender-equal, and inclusive future and get on track towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals for water by 2030. Thank you for your contributions to this critical work.
Thank you, Mr. Guterres. And now Saudi Arabia's Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture, His Excellency Abdurrahman bin Abdul Muhsin Al Fadli, will speak on behalf of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency, Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. Your Excellency, Mr. Volkan Bozkir, Ex-President of General Assembly. Your Excellency, Mr. Abdullah Al-Ma'alimi, Permanent Representative of Saudi Arabia to the United Nations. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors to the United Nations, esteemed prize winners, distinguished guests. It's our honor to have the patronage of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, for this 9th award ceremony of the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water. And it's a great honor for me to attend this event on his behalf. I would like to thank the countries who have lent their support as co-sponsors of this event. The Republic of Djibouti, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, the Kingdom of Morocco, the State of Qatar, the Republic of Singapore, the Republic of Tajikistan, the Kingdom of Thailand, and the Republic of Yemen. I extend our greetings to all the honored guests who are attending this event from all around the world, united in their concern for world's water. I would like to welcome His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. The commitment of this organization to addressing the concerns of the world's population, the crises affecting their lives, and their aspiration for growth and development have always been a beacon of hope. I welcome our distinguished prize winners and extend to you all the sincerest congratulations. Water is the essence of life, vital for growth, prosperity, and sustainable development. Water scarcity is getting worse across the globe, and the risk of drought is increasing due to climate change. The current pandemic has brought many challenges, including the vital need to guarantee access to water and sanitation, particularly to people in developing the countries. So proper hand washing is the most basic frontline defense against the spread of COVID-19. Yet a quarter of the world's population lack access to reliable water supply. The pandemic has heightened awareness of both the extent and consequences of this access gap, and we call for water scientists, UN organizations, policymakers, international financing institutions, and civil societies to work together to bridge this access gap globally. The Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water reflects, among many others, Saudi Arabia's concern for people and their needs, and recognition of the importance of worldwide alliance to combat water problems. Since its inception, the prize has had the honor to recognize many of the world's leading scientists who are innovatively working to address water-related issues over the years. Finally, I wish to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts that Saudi Arabia is making in water sector under the leadership of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, and His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz. Thank you all very much.
Rahman Al-Fadli. We wish to welcome PSIPW Council Chairman,
Your Excellency Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. Your Excellency Mr. Volkan Bozkır, President of the General Assembly. Your Excellencies, esteemed prize winners, distinguished guests. Good evening to you all. I would like to begin by thanking the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, for being the patron of this important event. And also would like to welcome the representative of the custodian of the two holy mosques, His Excellency Engineer Abdurrahman Al-Fadli, the Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture. Today is a blissful occasion indeed. World Water Day has been held on the 22nd of March every year since 1993 in order to draw our attention to the importance of fresh water. It is an honor to have the invitation of the United Nations to hold our 9th Awards Ceremony on this day, in conjunction with the high-level meeting of the water-related goals and targets of the 2030 Agenda at the United Nations General Assembly. Today's virtual event shows the close relationship between the United Nations and the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water that started back in 2008. We are honored by the United Nations agreement to host the prize awards ceremony on a continuing basis at their various headquarters in New York, Vienna, and Geneva. The prize has a consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council. It is also an observing member of the United Nations Committee for the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, where it provides consultations regarding applying space technology to water-related problems. In cooperation with the United Nations Organization for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, and various space agencies around the world, we organized the International Conference on the Use of Space Technology for Water Management, which promotes space applications in water resources for the benefit of developing countries. Also, in conjunction with UNOSA, the prize runs the International Space for Water portal, an online forum that brings together stakeholders in the field from all over the world. This year, the prize and UNOOSA have renewed and expanded their Memorandum of Understanding for another 6 years. We look forward to serving humanity together in applying space technologies to the fulfillment of our water resources needs. This is all because the United Nations and the prize share a commitment to sustainable development, human welfare, and the future of our planet. United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 6 is to ensure access to water and sanitation for all. This is also the prize mission, and it is well reflected in the work of our prize winners, who will be introduced to you shortly. Their scientific breakthroughs have brought us that much closer to achieving universal and equitable access to safe water and affordable drinking water, and to increasing water use efficiency.
And Rector of King Saud University, Dr. Badran Al-Omar. Thank you, Dr. Badran Al-Omar. Please welcome Dr. Abdul Malik Al-Sheikh, General Secretary of the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize.
Excellency, Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Your Excellency, Mr. Volker Bozkır, President of the General Assembly, Excellencies, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank the patron of this award ceremony, the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. I also wish to express my deepest gratitude to His Excellency Abdullah bin Yahya Al Muallimi of the Saudi Mission to the United Nations for his tireless effort in organizing the 9th award ceremony here at the United Nations. I also like to thank Ms. Simonita De Bibo, Director of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, for her cooperation and support in making this event possible. The Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water is a prize that focuses on scientific innovation for the service of humanity. His Royal Highness Saudi Crown Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz established his International Prize for Water back in 2002 to be a leading scientific award for cutting-edge innovation in water research. He realized that water scarcity was a growing problem, and every ounce of scientific ingenuity was going to be needed to prevent a global water crisis. For that reason, the prize offers a suite of 5 distinctive prizes every 2 years for work that addresses the problem of water scarcity in creative and effective ways. His son, Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Sultan bin Abdulaziz, shares his father's vision and continue to nurture and support the prize. We at the PSIBW believe that the impending water crisis can be avoided. However, innovative scientific solutions are needed. Second, solutions that will provide clean water to the world's people. Third, optimize its management. Fourth, and protect it from contamination. Now allow me please to invite you all to attend the 9th International Conference on Water Resources and Arid Environment, which will be held virtually from 29th to the 31st of March. It is a special edition to the conference focusing on PSIPW winners, past and present. All of the winners who are with us here today will be presenting their work, as well as many other prize winners since our first award in 2004. We will now introduce our winners of the ninth award. This work is truly innovative, truly focused on addressing the pressing water concern of humanity. We are honored to present them with our award. Thank you.
For water. Thank you, Dr. Al-Sheikh. It is now our honor to welcome the winners for PSIPW's 9th award. The Interdisciplinary Creativity Prize was shared by 2 teams of researchers. The first is a team led by Dr. Benjamin Shao of Stony Brook University in New York, which includes Dr. Priyanka Sharma, also of Stony Brook University. They have developed environmentally friendly biomass extraction processes to produce low-cost cellulose nanofibers, which can be employed as effective adsorbents, coagulants, and membrane materials for energy-efficient industrial water treatments, desalination, and heavy metal removal, capable of reaching a performance-price ratio of over 10 to 100 times better than existing commercial systems. This sustainable technology promises to provide clean water to off-grid communities of the developing world. Please welcome Dr. Benjamin Shao, Distinguished Professor, Co-Founding Director of the Innovative Global Energy Solutions Center, and Director for the Center for Integrated Electric Energy Systems at Stony Brook University. And now, please welcome Dr. Priyanka Sharma, a research scientist in the Department of Chemistry at Stony Brook University.
Truly a great honor to receive the 9th Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water in the category of the Creativity Prize. To start, I would like to thank King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud for being the patron of the awards ceremony, as well as his representative for attending the event. I greatly appreciate the vision of the founder of this prize, His Royal Highness Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz, and his son, His Royal Highness Prince Khaled bin Sultan, for this continued support of this prize. In addition, I would like to extend my warm thanks to the Prize Council and the General Secretary for selecting my team as one of the winners for the Creativity Prize. Finally, I'm also grateful to Mr. David Jalajal for helping me with all the logistics of this prize. As we all know, there's a vast amount of underutilized plant biomass resources surrounding us. Feedstock sources like tree waste, agricultural residues, shrubs and weeds, even recycled boxes and papers are ideal for extracting new, sustainable, inexpensive, and efficient water remediation materials. This Creativity Prize recognizes a novel process to do just that. My research team at Stony Brook University in the United States has developed a simple and environmentally friendly nitro oxidation process that can extract low-cost nanostructured materials, we call this nanocellulose, directly from any raw biomass for water purification. These nanocellulose materials can be used as absorbents, coagulants, and filtration membranes for different applications. ranging from drinking water purification for the outwith communities to the enabling of more energy efficient industrial scale water treatments. In specific, our nitro oxidation process combined two key steps in the extraction process, that is pulping and cellulose oxidation, therefore resulting significant reductions of energy, chemical, and water consumptions. Furthermore, the effluent from the process can be directly converted into plant fertilizers. We recently discovered that this process can also be used to activate biochar, thus further enhancing the nexus of water and energy. I'm very proud of my entire research team, led by Dr. Priyanka Sharma, the senior scientist in my group, for their hard work, persistence, and innovation. Our team shares the common vision, that is to help people by providing low-cost drinking water. This prize also reflects their accomplishments and belongs to them. We are only at the beginning of this long journey towards our full mission. The recognition of the Creativity Prize validates our vision and path that we have taken this far and highlights the work ahead of us. We aim to use this technology to help more needy people to access clean water with less cost. Well, thank you again for this prize.
Heartfelt thanks to King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud for being the patron of the award ceremony. I also thank his representative for attending the event. I salute His Royal Highness Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz for his critical vision of water. It is amazing how he thought to recognize and honor the world-leading scientists of all ages working in the field of water. I also like to thank His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Sultan for his continuous support for the prize. Apart from this, I would like to thank Dr. A.J. Verma, who has introduced me to the field of cellulose chemistry. My heartfelt thanks to Professor Benjamin Xiao, who provided me the platform for enhancing my knowledge in this field and for his guidance during the development of breakthrough research on the nitrooxidation process. My lab colleagues, students have also played a crucial role throughout this journey. I'm also thankful to them. Of course, I cannot forget to thank my parents, my husband Sunil, my in-laws for their continuous support and their day-to-day encouragement to pursue my goal in this field. Thanks to my little daughter Isha, who has filled our life with lots of joy, and her presence makes my success magnificent.
The Creativity Prize was shared by the team of Dr. Sharif As-Softy, Managing Researcher of the National Institute for Material Science in Japan, for developing a unique nanoporous filter medium that enables a dual detection chemical sorption process for decontamination during water filtration. This can be applied to virtually any water pollution problem, including the elimination of chemicals, pesticides, pathogens, and radioactive substances. This enhances energy-efficient, high-volume filtration and selective monitoring and removal so that hazards can be removed from the water while healthy minerals are retained. Please welcome Dr. Sharif As-Softy.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Your Excellencies, members of the Council, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. First and foremost, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to His Majesty, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, for being the patron of the award ceremony, as well as his representative for attending the event. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the founder of the prize, His Royal Highness the late Prince Sultan bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, for his vision and inspiration, rahmahullah, and His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Abdul Aziz bin Sultan bin Abdul Aziz for his continued support for the prize. It is our great honor to be awarded 2020 Prince Sultan bin Abdul Aziz International Prize for Water in the category of the Creativity Prize. I am deeply grateful for the recognition I have received for our work. This award has humbled me to keep contributing to a truly sustainable society in which everyone has access to sanitary facility in the time that the global warming, natural disasters are becoming more and more serious nowadays and near futures. I am deeply delighted to accept this prestigious award, which has become the mark of our achievement on nanotechnology for environment, particularly to safe access drinking water for mankind. I have developed a family of nanomaterials for water purifications, which is my important research theme, Science for Life. The function of this nanoporous material membrane, which one of the difficult things is how we control the large scale manufacturing, because we would like to introduce it to developing country as a low cost effective technology. In addition, this nanosponge membrane is applied to purify water pollutions, containing all chemicals, toxic elements, pesticides, pathogens, and radioactive substances in one step during the filtration process. Our membrane is also can be used as a detectors, which can provide visual warning of any hazards in water for household. In the same times, it removes all hazards selectively from water while healthy minerals are retained. One of our breakthrough is that our membrane nanotechnology has been dedicated to clean the radioactive water contaminates in Fukushima area during the Fukushima nuclear disaster 2011 in Japan. Honestly, was a great motivation that led us to detect and remove the radioactive hazards in any water sources by grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would like to talk to one of the important part. Being a Japanese living in Japan more than 20 years, I feel winning this award could never have been without my order. I'm from Egypt, where I received the continuous love and support from my families, brothers and sisters, seniors, and colleagues, whom I have deepest respect ever. To conclude my speech, I'd like to thank the Prize Council, General Secretary, for their encouragement and recognition of our work. I also would like to thank my organization, National Institute for Material Science, for nominating me. Without their caring and support, the success of my research wouldn't have been possible. I sincerely thank my research team, whom I have worked with. A special thanks to my family, of course, in Japan, for their love and support. They helped me so much to reach to this stage where I have tremendous honor to receive this award. Once again, I'm very grateful for this incredible honor, and I will be happy to see our contribution in good use improving the people's life in need. Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
His work engages with the complex process of flood generation, integrating the influences of many climatic and non-climatic factors, and distinguishing the climatic effects on river flow from the effects of human interventions. The knowledge generated by his work impacts on our understanding and interpretation of flood hazard and risk in the past, present, and future. Knowledge which he then applied to develop a diversified portfolio of flood risk management approaches that work together for maximum net effect. Please welcome Dr. Zbigniew Kunjewicz.
Being the patron of the award ceremony, as well as his representative for attending this event. I extend appreciation to His Royal Highness Prince Khaled bin Sultan for his continued support for the prize. Finally, I want to extend thanks to the Prize Council and the General Secretary. I want to acknowledge the truly far-sighted vision and generous initiative of His Royal Highness the late Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz in establishing the International Prize for Water. I am extremely pleased, honored, and humbled to have been selected to receive the prestigious Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water, the Surface Water Prize, recognizing my contribution to flood science. This is indeed an extraordinary privilege. Looking at the list of recipients since the prize was established, I see giants who have made major contributions to water science. I am very proud to be included with them today. I am glad that this ceremony takes place on the 22nd of March, which is World Water Day. The theme for World Water Day this year is Water and Climate Change, which is particularly close to my heart. In my opinion, the climate change impacts on water resources, described colloquially as present extremes are likely to be future norms, are among the most important consequences of climate change. I am especially proud of having co-edited a technical paper on climate change and water for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change that has received nearly 5,000 citations to date. During my 46-year career in water science and engineering, I have dealt with many issues and problems related to destructive abundance of water and the many dimensions of flooding and flood science. I have developed a special interest in the links between floods and climate change and variability. Floods continue to play havoc all over the world. They kill thousands of people annually and cause financial and economic losses of the order of tens of billions of US dollars. The arid and semi-arid lands in the Middle East including Saudi Arabia, are not immune to floods. Even if there are no permanent triggers, the ephemeral wadis are numerous, and the occurrence of high precipitation of short duration leads to flash flooding that devastates your lands. On this occasion, as I received the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water, I think about my long and fascinating scientific journey and of the people and the institutions that have influenced me on my way. I have worked for most of the time in two institutes of the Polish Academy of Sciences, namely the Institute of Geophysics in Warsaw and the Institute of Agriculture and Forest Environment in Poznań. I have enjoyed generous support of many research funding agencies, such as, in the last decade, the National Science Centre of Poland, the European Commission, the Swiss contribution to the enlarged European Union, and the Norway grants. I have actively collaborated with foreign scientists and research institutions on scientific work, including spending over 15 years abroad. I enriched my understanding of various aspects of water and climate science and its applicability during my extended visits to the University of Karlsruhe in Germany, at the World Meteorological Organization, at the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research, Germany again, and most recently at the Nanjing University of Information Science and Technology in China. I am indebted to my beloved family, my wife, Lucina, our 2 children with spouses, and 4 grandchildren, for their love, support, and encouragement. My wife has been a role model, excellently managing our family affairs and enabling me to pursue my scientific interests and to achieve professional success. It is a great honor to have my 46 years of scientific work recognized through this highly respected and prestigious Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water, the Surface Water Prize, International Prize. It is with great pleasure and gratitude that I accept the prize. I hope that this prize will continue to inspire younger scientists and researchers to work hard and to try to obtain relevant practice-oriented results. This 2020 prize in the category of surface water will enhance recognition of the important problems associated with floods. Thank you.
Water Prize was awarded to Dr. Jaime Gomez-Hernandez of the Universitat Politécnica de Valencia in Spain for work that involves solving the inverse problem in hydrogeology. An inverse problem in science is a process of calculating the causal factors that produce a set of observations. A reliable depiction of groundwater flow and mass transport in the subsurface requires characterizing the spatial variability of the parameters that control the state of the system. These parameters need to be known over the entire domain of interest, but in practice can only be determined for a few locations, and unfortunately, they display a large spatial variability that makes them impossible to predict at unsampled locations without considerable uncertainty. Dr. Gomez-Hernandez's self-calibrating method uses pilot points for the stochastic inversion of natural heterogeneity, which not only yields a strong estimate of the parameters, but also an estimate about their uncertainty.
First of all, I wish to thank His Royal Highness King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud for being patron of this award ceremony, as well as his representative for attending the event. Thanks to the founder of the prize, His Royal Highness Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz, and to his son, His Royal Highness Prince Khaled bin Sultan, for his continued support for the prize. Thanks also to the Prize Council and General Secretary. It is a great pleasure and honor to be awarded the Prince bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water. Recognition is the best reward that we scientists may have, and receiving this prize raises the recognition to its highest levels, since, without any doubt, this is the most important prize worldwide in water resources. Thank you again. I must extend my gratitude to the many people who have accompanied me in my scientific journey, particularly all my former PhD students, without whom most of my research could not have been completed. Last, but certainly not least, thanks to my family and especially to my wife, Inma, for having provided during all these years the kind of support that we crazy scientists need at all times. I have been working on groundwater for the last 35 years, and I have been complaining that groundwater does not receive the attention by politicians, managers, and the public in general that it deserves. Fortunately, this prize has put water on the spot, and especially groundwater, the invisible resource. Groundwater is a precious resource, the magnitude of which is not well understood. Did you know that about 50% of the population drinks groundwater, or that 50% of the water that flows in the rivers comes from groundwater, or that 40% of the irrigation water is pumped from the subsurface, or that groundwater is the only safe water supply in many parts of the world? Yet, groundwater is not very well known and is not very well managed either. I have been attracted by mathematics since my childhood and later by computer science. Groundwater allowed me to combine both to better understand how water moves underground and how aquifers may look like. We have proposed new ways to interpret the data and new models to describe it. We have also warned about the difficulty of making precise predictions and the importance of tagging those predictions with some uncertainty. We have claimed that aquifer heterogeneity could not be modeled with simple Gaussian models, and we were heavily criticized for it. We have proposed new approaches to solve the inverse problem in groundwater, and lately we have developed new ways for the identification of contaminant sources in aquifers. All of these always aim to improve our knowledge of the underground. Because the better we understand how aquifers function, the better we can make the best use of them. As alternative water storage to mitigate the impact of climate change, as a way to prevent saltwater intrusion, as an instrument critical to sustaining aquatic ecosystems, or simply as the source of water that should continue feeding half the world population. Thanks again for helping make the invisible groundwater visible.
Alternative Water Resources Prize was awarded to Dr. Peng Wang of the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology in Saudi Arabia for a diverse portfolio of innovative wood-related work, including solar energy-driven freshwater generation using environmental nanotechnology, solar desalination, zero liquid discharge desalination, and atmospheric water harvesting. Please welcome Dr. Peng Wang.
Ladies and gentlemen, first, please allow me to thank King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud for being the patron for the award ceremony, as well as his representative for attending the event today. It was a vision of His Royal Highness, Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz, that created this prize. to which I'm very grateful. I thank His Royal Highness Prince Khaled bin Sultan for his continued support for the prize. I have a very profound sense of humility as I receive this award, because the previous and current awardees are all seminal figures in the field of water research. I'm overwhelmed to be included in their company. I am very grateful to the Prize Council for their recognition of my work at the Solar Energy Water Nexus in the past 5 years. On this special occasion, I would like to thank my current and former students and collaborators with whom I work passionately on this important topic. My wife and son have sacrificed tremendously so that I could make progress in my work, and I owe them a huge debt. Words cannot express my wholehearted gratitude to King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, KAUST, where I started and established my career as an independent researcher. As a matter of fact, I was one of only 70 plus founding faculty members at KAUST, a fact that makes me feel proud to this day. I thank KAUST for its generous and unconditional support for my research, without which I could not have been able to move from a fresh PhD graduate to where I am within 11 short years. In the past 5 years, my team and I have worked tirelessly to propose and to test fully solar energy driven and energy efficient technologies to produce clean drinking water from unconventional and alternative water resources, such as seawater, atmospheric water, or wastewater. Our technologies are promising for convenient production of essential clean drinking water for small to medium-sized communities. At the same time, using alternative water sources, especially atmospheric water vapor, to increase the amount of electricity produced through solar energy is another direction that my team and I are pursuing. My research will definitely continue along those paths, and I sincerely hope that this prestigious award will inspire others, particularly talented innovators from younger generations, to devote themselves to similar important endeavors. Only through continuous innovation can we ensure sustainable use of alternative water resources for future water and energy security. In closing, I would like to say that visionary thinking by King Abdullah created KAUST, and the visionary thinking by Prince Sultan created this prize. Their visions for encouraging researchers to solve the world's challenges through science and technology innovations will have profound impact on us and the future generations to come. Let us work together and hard so that someday, in a not so distant future, people everywhere will have access to clean drinking water as well as clean energy. Thank you.
Management and Protection Prize was awarded to Dr. J.R. Lund of the University of California, Davis for developing the Calvin water supply optimization model that couples traditional water supply criteria with economic considerations. Calvin was successful in reshaping and optimizing water planning and management in California, with substantial improvements to the public welfare. This encouraged many countries around the world, including Mexico and Spain, to develop large-scale economic engineering optimization models with Calvin as their backbone. His work shows how the natural and social sciences can inform public policy in a challenging political environment and contribute to regional water conflict resolution. It also demonstrates how game theory, through the creative use of non-cooperative games, can be harnessed to develop more effective water management policies by identifying the externalities and evolutionary pathways of dynamic water resource problems. Ms. Simonet?
King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud for being the patron of the award ceremony and his representative for attending the event. I greatly appreciate His Royal Highness Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz founding this prize and his son Prince Khalid bin Sultan's continued support for the prize. I thank the jury, prize council, and General Secretary for this event and for recognizing this work. Many students and colleagues around the globe have put so much into this work over several decades and continue with this work. In the end, it is hard to know which ideas came from whom, but clearly this work would not have been as good or as useful without many students, collaborators, colleagues, and support from taxpayers. This prize rests on many contributions. I also thank my wife, my family, my children, and parents for making my efforts possible. People need water, safe water, on time, and not too much of it. This makes effective water management fundamental for all societies at any time in history and in any place. Water is so fundamental that all aspects of any society are reflected in how they manage and use water. Problems in water management also reflect broader societal problems. It is no coincidence that societies that manage water problems well tend to be successful more broadly. Good water management is both a cause and effect of a successful society. Water management supports 4 fundamental and mutually reinforcing objectives for any society: public health, economic prosperity, ecosystems, and social order. Public health is the most important single objective, where we have been historically successful globally, as seen in mortality statistics, although we still have far to go. Most water management is for economic purposes, such as irrigating crops, flood protection, navigation, hydropower, property values, industries, and commercial enterprises. Economic prosperity motivates most individuals and groups involved in water management and use, and supports any society's ability to achieve other societal objectives. As with all real problems, water problems are not the exclusive province of any single discipline. Hydroeconomic modeling formally combines representations of water and economics for understanding and improving water management. Among scholars, it bridges traditional physical and social sciences, particularly economics, engineering, and hydrology, and benefits from the common historical and intellectual origins of these disciplines. Hydroeconomic modeling forces a more explicit mathematical understanding of how environmental and human systems work together, and can provide insights on how they can work better. Calvin is a hydroeconomic model of California's extensively interconnected water supply system, with its diverse portfolio of water supply and demand management options in a hydrologically and economically dynamic region. This model has been orienting and insightful for a wide range of water supply problems and an educational experience for scholars and managers globally. This modeling forced us to learn, appreciate, and integrate diverse economic, engineering, hydrologic, and policy knowledge in the context of a variety of urgent, persistent, and overlapping water management problems for California. These experiences have shaped and informed scholars now applying these ideas globally, and shaped many studies that have helped shape water policies in California on water markets, infrastructure development, groundwater, environmental restoration, water conflicts, and regional and interregional water management generally. Modeling is always imperfect, but provides a disciplined framework for integrating understanding of problems and exploring solutions. Such integration is hard work, somewhat facilitated by faster computers and the widespread acceptance of modeling in government agencies and academic fields, but still requires both high-level and detailed-oriented thinking. This integrated approach has many scholarly and practical benefits and continuing promise for local, regional, and global water problems as they evolve. The hardest modeling problem for the future is, as always, human. How can an organization of decision-making in academic disciplines and practice be modified to better absorb and employ insights from more advanced integrated representations of human knowledge, such as hydroeconomic modeling? The study of water management, the insights of hydroeconomic modeling, and the many people I've worked with on this subject have been a tremendous source of insight, joy, and fun in my life. I'm tremendously happy and gratified that others have found this work useful. I thank you all who have established and continue this prize for honoring our work with it. I am very grateful.
Please welcome Ms. Simonetta De Pippo, Director of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, who will give the closing remarks. UN-USA is a long-term partner in promoting the use of space technology for effective water research.
Distinguished participants. It is a great honor and pleasure to represent the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs at this 9th award ceremony at the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water. As we close today's event, I may thank all the previous speakers for their valuable insights. I also extend my gratitude and congratulate all the winners for their outstanding contributions. Thank you also to all who participated, sharing your inspiring projects and ideas. The prize represents a catalyst for scientific and technological progress. It is also a clear commitment to support efforts in innovation and research around the world. It is exciting to see so many groundbreaking entries. Please allow me here to also take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation for the Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz International Prize for Water. I can only applaud the outstanding work you've been doing. Looking ahead, water-related issues will remain one of the biggest challenges we face. The quality, availability, and management of water are cross-cutting issues affecting well-being, economy, even geopolitics. The COVID-19 pandemic is a vivid manifestation of the implications of unequal access to water and sanitation. It exposed the vulnerabilities of communities living in water-stressed areas, further exacerbating existing inequalities and hardship. And despite the progress achieved over the past 20 years, the situation might get worse. With environmental degradation and climate crisis, we find ourselves on thin ice. Fortunately, we have the roadmap for our future work, the 2030 Agenda and other internationally agreed frameworks demonstrate the scale and ambition required. But as we look ahead, what do we need to improve implementation? Well, we need innovation, science and technology, as well as data and knowledge to drive our efforts. Still, these alone are not enough. To create, sustain, and scale up bold, effective, and affordable solutions, we need resources, international cooperation, solidarity, dedication, and ambition. Space activities can serve as inspiration as they encompass all these aspects. What is currently missing is universal access to the benefits they offer. At the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, we work to bridge these capabilities gaps, and I'm glad we are not alone. It was indeed the common aim of strengthening the use of space assets for water resource management that brought the Office and PSIPW together back in 2008. Jointly, we address capacity, awareness, as well as positioning of space for decision and policy making in water-related issues. One of our results is a state-of-the-art platform for promoting the use of space-based technology for increased access to water, the Space for Water Portal, which is a pillar of our cooperation. It serves as a multi-stakeholder platform for knowledge exchange on space technologies and water-related topics. I encourage you all to consider becoming part and contribute to our Space for Water Portal. It is indeed an excellent opportunity to improve science communication and embrace solutions for this challenge. Your contributions can help the space sector better facilitate the needs of water research, science, and technology. And through your unique perspectives and experiences, you can inspire the next generations of researchers. As we approach the end of this ceremony, let me congratulate once again all the winners of the prize. Thanks everyone for your efforts in addressing one of the biggest challenges we face. Ladies and gentlemen, we entered the decade of action. Now only 9 years remain to achieve what the international community pledged for in 2015. We have to speed up. 2021 is an important year. Climate crisis is at the top of the international, leading to Youth COP26 in Italy and COP26 in Glasgow later in the year. Let's use the time leading up to these critical conferences to step up our aspirations for the benefit of our civilization and all living beings on the beautiful planet we all call home. Let's mobilize efforts and resources to truly make a difference and develop a society in which water is not a privilege. With science, ambition, and solidarity at heart, we can and will achieve the future we want. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simonetta De Pippo. Finally, we would like to take this occasion to welcome you all to participate in the 9th International Conference on Water Resources and Arid Environments, a special virtual edition of the conference focusing on PSIPW prize winners, past and present, which will take place between 29 and 31 March.